Hey guys, so today we're here to talk about Ivory Rose Grows Wild. She is somebody who's very well known in the anti-Gypsy creator space, especially over on TikTok, and she has recently come out and basically exposed herself as quite a hypocrite. She has flipped sides and she made a YouTube video explaining it all. I took notes. I also spliced the video into the parts that I thought were the key takeaways. So we're going to talk about it. I want to make a disclaimer in the beginning of this video. If you are coming onto social media to share your opinions about whomever it is, and they might be seen as unpopular with some people, you have to know that there is going to be backlash and at times negative comments sent your way. The commentary space on social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever you call it, if you're sharing your opinions on any of those platforms, there are going to be people that don't like them. They could be really innocent opinions. They could be very unpopular ones. Social media, like the commentary space on social media, is not for everybody. And I think that needs to be recognized when we're talking about content creators making channels based on their opinions and not being mentally prepared to face what could come with it. The other thing that I want to talk about before I get into her video is the very obvious PSA that I am not here for bullying. I never have been, I never will be, but somebody coming out and saying you're stupid and I don't like your opinion and, I wish that you would go away, that's not being bullied. Now, in the beginning, she gives a brief intro into who she is, how she kind of got well known on social media. Very early on, she acknowledges that she had some issues with Gypsy Rose Blanchard's parasocial, I guess now real life, wannabe bestie Bree. She acknowledges that there was a lot of back and forth between her and Bree and her and the Blanchards and her and Gypsy, and it was just a whole lot of back and forth. She was one of those content creators where it wasn't just, here, I'm going to share my opinion and let it go. It was like she would get involved in these tit for tats, and she acknowledges that early in the video. She also acknowledges that she had tit for tat and back and forth with other people that were anti-Gypsy. So she had issues with not only Gypsy Rose and her circle and family, but also other people that were creating anti-Gypsy commentary as well. Now, I'm not familiar with any of these back and forth that she had with other content creators, except I know a little bit about what she had to say when it came to Sir Morbid, and that's only because I got caught up to speed today, and that video will be later on in my video.
You probably will see me cry in this video. Okay, so if you don't know who I am, I'm Ivory Rose Grows Wild, and over on TikTok, also here too on YouTube, but it started on TikTok. I was posting Gypsy on the Bayou, which was Gypsy Rose Blanchard Bayou Tea Bayou Gossip. It grew into a bigger following, and I made a lot of friends, and I talked to a lot of good people. That part was a good experience for me. There's been a lot of back and forth, verbal, crazy drama between me and Gypsy's friend Bree. There's been a lot of drama between me, Gypsy, just their family, really. Always drama and back and forth between me and the opposite side, right? But there was also drama between me and people on the same side as me. I addressed that in previous videos as before, and I'm not going to address that in this video.
Then she talks about being bullied. She claims that we've all been bullied in some way. Now, have I had some really hateful, mean comments sent my way? I have been, but I take bullying very seriously. And even with some of the things that have been said about me, there's only a very small fraction of those things that I would categorize as being bullied or having the language in said comments or said videos where I could say, okay, well, now you're stepping into bullying. That's a very small percentage. I'm just not one of those people that runs around saying, oh, she's bullying me, he's bullying me, bully this, bully that. I save that label for what I truly feel like is crossing into a different kind of territory.
We all know that Gypsy talk is toxic. We've all been bullied by somebody in some way, whether it be from the opposite side or people on the same side as you, or just you being bullied in your real life in general. Okay.
She says how a lot of people didn't like her. She felt like she was in a hole. She couldn't breathe. Things got dark for her. She disconnected, and many times in this video she says that she unplugged and she had to, and things were dark and scary, and it was a no fault of Gypsy or her family or her inner circle. She makes it a very clear point to say none of this is Gypsy's fault, so don't blame Gypsy or her inner circle.
It was getting really bad. I mean, it's no secret that I had drama with both sides, and it's no secret that there was a lot of people that didn't like me, and that's okay. For the last couple weeks, I felt like I was in a hole, like I could not breathe. It got to a point recently, it got real dark. It got real dark for me, and I felt that before, and when I felt that feeling, I knew I never wanted to feel that again, right? So that's why y'all saw me disconnect. Wasn't nothing the Blanchards had did, or Gypsy or Bree, that did anything that caused me to get to cause that to happen. Like, I didn't fall into that dark hole because of that.
Sorry guys, I had to adjust my mount so it looks different. If it looks different, that's why. So she says that she saw her doctor and a therapist, and she had to stop posting hate content online. Now again, I'm not super familiar with what she was posting. You know, if you're only sharing your opinions, I don't categorize everything as hate, bullying, harassment. But if you're calling your own content hateful, then, you know, that's your right to do so. But I'm not familiar with what about her content would make it hate content. If you do, sound off down below.
When I realized what was happening to me, I made a doctor's appointment, and I went and talked to my doctor, and I went and talked to my therapist, and I told him what was happening and what was going on. I knew I had to unplug from posting Gypsy videos and just hate content in general about anybody. I had to get off of TikTok. I had to not respond to y'all messages. My mind got so bad that I had to completely get off of TikTok. I had to not check no messages. I had to not check no text messages. I had to not take no calls. I started to think about everything that led up to this point for me. For me, was because I was posting hate content. And when you post hate content, it opens the door for anything to happen.
She then says that basically her life and everything around her fell apart because she was posting hate content. She also says that people found info on her because she posted hate content. She was trying to ruin someone else's life but ruined her own. And again, it reminds everybody that it is not Gypsy or the Blanchards or Gypsy's inner circle's fault that you know, based on what she's saying, her whole life fell apart. She's had a hard time finding work. She can't find a job because she's in a small town.
When people find your information, God knows like what they do with it. People lost their jobs, they losing their mind, all for the sake of posting just hate content. When I started posting this kind of stuff, I didn't realize that open yourself up to that kind of stuff happening. I really didn't take that into account. Trying to ruin someone else's life, and in the process, I ruined my own life. I blame that on nobody else. I can't blame that on them. I can't blame Gypsy, Bree, Christy. I can't blame none of them. That's my job. I'm having a hard time finding a job. Like a really hard time.
It's gotten too much for her. The therapist that she saw suggested that she reach out to Bree and apologize, which she did. She claims that the conversation with Bree was a very positive one, and she's glad that she did it.
This is my story. For other creators, this may not be their experience, and I know that people are going to say what they want about all of this. It's gotten too much for me. When I talked to the therapist, they had she had suggested I reach out and apologize. So I took my therapist's advice, and I reached out and I apologized to Bree. So what y'all heard about me messaging Bree, that was true. And I don't regret it. I'm glad I did it. I told her where my head was at, just like what I'm telling y'all now. And I had a good experience talking with Bree about that. I didn't have, she listened to me.
She says that people shouldn't bully anyone. Putting gossip out there is, in her mind, bullying. So if you're gossiping or making up things, you are a bully, according to Ivory.
I don't think that people realize that the bullying, I don't think people realize that the bullying that they're doing to anybody, whether that just be somebody on TikTok, somebody you don't like in real life, somebody you work with, somebody in your family, a public figure. I hope that y'all understand where I'm coming from. Putting gossip out there, that's bullying.
She says anyone claiming that she switched sides or is working with the Blanchards or Lifetime, those people are gossiping and lying about her, basically, and she doesn't want people to have that opinion.
All y'all out there that is telling everybody that I flipped, you're lying, you're wrong, and you're spreading rumors. Y'all that are lying, saying that I've been working with the Blanchards and Gypsy and all of them the whole time. You're wrong. You're lying. I've never been approached by them at all to do anything for them or for Lifetime. So those that are saying that, you're lying. You're wrong. And you're gossiping about me.
Now, the really interesting part to me is that just 2 short weeks ago, she made a video and she titled it, "Dropping Receipts on Morbid's Ass." And she expressed very, very clear anger of Morbid having the opinion that she should not have had this GoFundMe for an attorney after she claimed that the Blanchards were basically ruining her life. She started up a GoFundMe. Morbid had the wrong dollar amount for said GoFundMe, and she basically went on a complete rant about how, no, the GoFundMe was $20,000, not $30,000.
Take note of who is in the live while he's making these comments. Take note of who is speaking. And also, when I dropped the receipt that I did fucking tell this story 7 fucking months ago on his live, okay, take note of who's in there up on panel 2. So here's his clip of his last live where he was talking shit.
To shit. Here's another piece of garbage here. Not only did this person try to swindle people out of $30,000.
That's the Ivory Rose Grows one.
Yeah, this moron.
Yeah.
This person here tried to swindle people out of $30,000 at one point on her stupid little GoFundMe. And it was such ridiculousness that she would ask for that money. And people are like, no, it's 10 G's. No, it's 30 G's. I remember I have it in a live stream that I showed on the screen. Okay.
Oh, you do? That's odd. Being that I'm the one that put up the GoFundMe. So that means I would have receipts showing that it was for $20,000. So here's a clip of the post that I made the day I put up the GoFundMe for $20,000. I decided to make a GoFundMe to help me hire a lawyer. A good lawyer here is the retainer's $10,000. I don't know if I should go outside of the 2 parishes. When you go towards NOLA, it gets way more than 10 grand retainer. So I set a GoFundMe to help hire me a lawyer for everything that's being done to me. If you don't know, I have a whole playlist called Proof. Go check it out. I have everything in there. So yeah, I decided to make a GoFundMe for $20,000. If you want to donate to it and help me get a lawyer, I greatly, greatly appreciate it so much. Y'all have no idea. So there you go. That's the clip from the post that I made informing all my followers that I made a GoFundMe for $20,000. So it was never 30. That was a fucking lie. What screenshots do you have? Because I was even up on your fucking live, Morbid, talking about it being 20,000. And I also clearly stated in that video why I'm getting it, because of everything that they've been doing. Everybody's been watching it play out. I even put in the description part of the GoFundMe, which he put on his live, listed all the reasons that they were fucking with me. So it was always about what Gypsy and them have been doing. Remember? The pew-pew, all of it. So it's really ridiculous. Their family looking for my name and address. Went to my job. Look, I even lost my job. And the manager was friends with Jerea. Crazy. Oh, what else did they do? Oh, yeah. Put me on their show without my permission and fucking lied about it. So, and also all of those donations were refunded. I'll insert the proof for that also. Clearly, multiple times, people told me, you need to get a lawyer for everything that they're doing. You need to get a lawyer, da 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 da. Now y'all see that shit aired on the show, then y'all are like, oh yeah, she really did need a lawyer. Yeah. Y'all want me to be the bad guy so fucking bad. It was an accumulation of things that they were doing. Y'all all watched it. Y'all all watched my proof. Everybody did. Then y'all watched it air on fucking TV. And
So in a nutshell, what we have here is somebody who claimed that their life was basically being ruined by the Blanchards. She continued to make anti-Gypsy content and get upset along the way and expressed how she was feeling. And then I guess her mental health took a toll, and now she is on the complete opposite side of things. Can you understand why people have an issue with this? Now, I want to hold space and understanding for people having mental health struggles. I fully understand that, and I know that it's very, very difficult. But just because you want to unplug doesn't mean that you go to the Blanchards and are photographed out with them. So I get it. Okay, no more anti-Gypsy content. That's not my thing. It's too much on me. Totally understand that. I respect it. But now you're being seen out in real life with Gypsy and her inner circle. That's where I have a problem. So I understand the mental health aspect of this. I do not understand going to the other side and literally rubbing elbows with them and cheesing in pictures. Last thing I want to say before I close out this video is this is a really good lesson on, like, you know, when you're supporting a content creator online, like, there's a lot of trust that goes into building these people up, and to see somebody just jump ship, and, you know, that would be like me after talking about negatively about Alicia Doherty for years on my channel. If I'm over at their house at a barbecue one day and then come back and be like, oh, well, mental health, you know, I was having mental health issues. But girl, why are you at the barbecue with them? What a shame, but another one bites the dust. Tell me how y'all feel down below. If you like the video, please leave a like in the comments. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.